It is 8 p.m. and here are our top stories in 90 seconds.
1 year of leading a district during a pandemic equates to a decade of being a superintendent in my book.
That was Denver's new superintendent just 2 days ago. Tonight, he's facing a lawsuit over how he handled the pandemic while superintendent in New York.
I'm Denver7 CB Cotton. Alex Marrero is accused of trying to silence a former medical director. I'll have details on what this means for his position with Denver Public Schools coming up.
We hope you soaked up the sun today because we won't see much of it this holiday weekend.
Rain and thunderstorms moving through the Front Range and eastern Colorado as we go through our holiday weekend. I'll let you know what we expect day by day.
And all that rain means kids won't be able to enjoy the pool. We have some indoor activities to keep them busy. A young woman believed to be missing in Colorado has been found safe hundreds of miles away.
I knew that for the past 18 months, she had been essentially entirely withheld from social interaction.
Plus, Senate Republicans block a bill to create a commission to investigate the January 6th insurrection.
I do not believe the additional extraneous commission that Democratic leaders want would uncover crucial new facts or promote healing.
And we have a touching Memorial Day homecoming for an Army specialist. Good Friday evening, and thank you for watching Denver7 News on Local 3. I'm JACLYN Allen. It was just Wednesday when Denver Public Schools introduced their pick for superintendent. Now, 2 days later, their pick is facing an obstacle. Denver7's CB Cotton joins us live. CB, Alex Marrero is named in a lawsuit for how his district handled response to the pandemic in New York.
JACLYN, well, within the last 20 minutes, we received a statement from Denver Public Schools, and they say they stand by their decision to confirm Dr. Alex Marrero as superintendent next week. This comes after allegations that he tried to silence a former colleague, and her name is Brooke Balshin. She's the former medical director for the City School District of New Rochelle, and she says Marrero, who served as interim superintendent for the district, and other colleagues retaliated against her after she raised concerns about the district's COVID response. She claims she was excluded from meetings and had her public health advice ignored. She also alleges there were threats and intimidation by the district's legal team. Again, all of this in New York. On Wednesday, we spoke one-on-one with Marrero after he was announced as the finalist for Denver Public Schools superintendent. And here was his take in part on his time spent in the New Rochelle district.
So I have the practical experience of a superintendent during the pandemic year when a lot of folks have faltered. Right? They left on their own accord, they were forced out, some retired on time, some retired early. From the entire globe, I would say, definitely from New York to Hawaii, and I've been able to really flourish as a superintendent.
Now, with this afternoon, we also received a statement from the City School District of New Rochelle. They sent us over this statement, and they said in part that they categorically deny these allegations against Marrero and other colleagues. We've got their full statement over on our website, thedenverchannel.com. Reporting for Denver7 News on Local 3, I'm CB Cotton.
All right, very interesting. Thank you, CB. Parks across the Front Range were packed with people taking advantage of the sun and warm weather today. We really hope that you got outside because guess what? We have a wet and cloudy forecast this holiday weekend. We have team coverage tonight. Our Addie Guajardo has some indoor activities to stay out of the rain. But we start with meteorologist STACEY Donaldson with the check of our weekend forecast. Hey, STACEY.
So beautiful today. Afternoon highs in the low 80s. We saw lots of sun and a beautiful sunset occurring as we speak. So it's gorgeous here across the state today, but that's about to change going into the weekend. A couple of cold fronts headed our way along with a lot of moisture. Our temperatures in the 80s for the Front Range and the Eastern Plains, some 70s there, 60s and 70s for the high country. And we've had some spotty showers off to our west, but really this is just small potatoes as compared to what's going to show up for our holiday weekend. So for tomorrow, our storm outlook, severe weather from Colorado Springs down toward Trinidad if you're traveling that direction. For the Eastern Plains and the Front Range, we have chances for strong thunderstorms late in the day, but our dog park forecast looks good. We'll have temperatures in the 50s in the morning, but we'll only get up to 70 for an afternoon high tomorrow with those storms showing up. And then we do have more moisture coming in behind that, along with even cooler air with a cold front coming in from the west. So a lot of changes happening over the next couple of days, and we'll talk more about what to expect on Sunday and Monday in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Stacey. If you're like me, you're thinking, oh, that's not good for the backyard barbecue I had planned or hanging out in the pool, but we have you covered. Denver7's Addie Guajardo is live at the Gaylord Rockies Resort near DIA with some fun things you can do indoors. Addie?
Well, Jacqueline, if you're a Colorado native, you know how wacky our weather can be. It's why you don't have to worry. There's an abundance of activities from the food scene all the way to local resorts. Here at the Gaylord Rocky Resorts, the parking lot is full, but there's still time to book your weekend adventure, even activities. This Memorial Day weekend, vaccines are boosting travel confidence in the air and on the road. AAA predicts more than 37 million Americans are expected to travel 50 miles or more from home. And Denver is the fourth most popular destination for road trips. Rain is in the forecast all weekend, but don't worry, we've got you covered so you can have a great time in the Mile High City. We sought out some popular indoor hotspots. The first on our list, the Gaylord Rockies Resort and Convention Center located near the airport. And you don't have to be a guest to enjoy countless family activities to fit most budgets. If you're a resort guest, they've got plenty of pools to choose from.
So we're expecting rain all weekend. Do you expect to close the pools?
No, the pools won't close unless there's lightning in the area. And then, of course, we will, for the guest safety, close the pools. The indoor pool will, however, remain open.
Stephen and his family drove in from Parker for the weekend.
They have an indoor pool, so we're going to utilize that.
A place that kids love?
The slide.
Next on our list, Unser Karting and Events.
It's an indoor track that's a quarter-mile long, and our people come in here and they race like crazy, go as fast as they can, and it's a complete adrenaline rush.
The average cost for a family of four is about $130. A few other activities on our list: the Denver Art Museum, the Downtown Aquarium, and you can even step back to the dinosaur age at the Jurassic Empire drive-thru. Prices start at $71 per vehicle. Now, if you're a sports fan, we have something in store for you too. The Colorado Avalanche will drop the puck Sunday at 6 p.m. and there are still tickets available starting at $173. Reporting live in Denver, Addie Guajardo, Denver7 on Local 3.
All right, thank you, Addie. Some great ideas there. And we have you covered with some other indoor activities you can do to keep the kids busy. There are several trampoline parks all around the Front Range, including Defy Denver. It would be a great weekend to get back to the movies. Cruella and A Quiet Place are in theaters this weekend. Or you could head to the Denver Selfie Museum. It's the best place for that Instagrammable moment. And if you're planning for a staycation and hoping for a rental car, you may find it tough to find one. Here in Denver, demand is extremely high at the airport, and many rental car companies are struggling because they just don't have enough vehicles. So some travelers are finding other ways to get around.
The rental cars are expensive, and the Ubers are expensive everywhere. So I would say don't be afraid to do the public transportation. Like today, for the first time ever, I'm going to take the train into town.
And AAA says the pandemic forced rental car companies to sell their fleets last year because of such a little demand. So expect long lines and high prices if you can still find one this weekend. There will be plenty of cars on I-25 this weekend, both heading into and out of Denver. AAA lists Denver as the fourth most popular destination for road trips behind Las Vegas, Orlando, and Myrtle Beach. Colorado Springs ranks 5th for number of trips booked with AAA. We have in-depth coverage of Memorial Day travel, including what you need to know about COVID in traveling. You can find all of our coverage by downloading the free Denver7 Plus app for your streaming device. The prosecution called Brendan Bialy to the stand in the STEM school shooting trial today. Bialy was one of 3 students to tackle gunman Devin Erickson. Another of the 3 was hit but survived, and the third was Kendrick Castillo. Bialy said he had to pry the gun from Erickson's fingers, at which time Erickson said he was sorry and that Alec McKinney, his co-conspirator, had made him do it. The trial resumes Monday. A young woman who was allegedly kidnapped by her father in 2019 and who was said to be living in Colorado has actually been found safe in South Alabama. 18-year-old Daphne Westbrook was pulled over just after midnight. You'll notice the Colorado plates on her car and that she is smiling for the camera. The lead investigator in the case did not find that reaction unusual.
I was not surprised at her state because I knew that for the past 18 months, she had been essentially entirely withheld from social interaction, from education, from healthcare.
Daphne's father, John, is still on the run. Investigators say he has proven very good at covering his tracks and at living off the grid. As you're celebrating Memorial Day this weekend, it is important to remember what this holiday is really for. It is to honor and remember the lives lost fighting for our country. A small town in New Jersey did its part in honoring a soldier who returned home from overseas. U.S. Army Specialist CODY Wallace was welcomed home by hundreds of screaming elementary school kids. He thought he was going to the school to teach kids about Memorial Day.
Feels good to be back with friends and family and everything, but this is crazy. This is awesome.
Just want to thank everybody for coming out. I appreciate you guys and the support that you have for the military.
And Specialist Wallace is asking everyone to be sure to take time to honor the lives lost serving our country.
And I'll continue to urge my colleagues to oppose this extraneous layer when the time comes for the Senate to vote.
Republicans successfully block a bill to create a commission to investigate the January 6th insurrection. We have reaction from Colorado.
We still have members of Congress who won't face the facts and tell their constituents the truth.
Weather action days affecting us through our holiday weekend, along with a cold front. I'll let you know what you can expect over the weekend.
Plus, the Grand Lake community has dealt with a lot over the past year.
Everybody here knows, at least 2, 3, 4 families who don't have a home and are displaced or trying to rebuild.
Now they need your help to rebuild.
There's the misconception that the town is gone, but the town's very much here.